Hi, this is Winn Claybaugh. Welcome to my Best of Masters weekly audio blog for AmericanSalon.com. Next up is one of my favorite clips from the last 20 years of inspiring interviews from Masters Audio Club. Enjoy and learn. But a little bit more about your training. How long have you been in the hair business, in the beauty industry?
30 years.
Okay, and when did your training end?
It hasn't.
Exactly.
It hasn't. I was, that unconscious incompetence. When you have that joy of youth, you feel you can do anything, which is wonderful. It's almost like a little safety net until you actually fall flat on your face.
Right.
But my classic training was 3 years, which is normal in Europe. In fact, some countries it's more than that. But the basic training is 3 solid years. And then you continue. Trevor Sorby said it the best. He said, you can learn how to drive the car, and you pass your test. But it's not until you're alone on the road by yourself do you really find out if you know how to drive. And it's when all the ties are cut from the cocoon of the schooling and you're out there on your own having to think for yourself, that's when it gets scary. And developing a tender eye, Vidal always spoke about develop a tender eye, Viv, it's so important. Developing that tender eye to see somebody and see how to transform them. You can make somebody feel so amazing about themselves, or you can be their worst enemy if you do something that's inappropriate. So to me, developing your eye, developing your skills is ongoing. So I still haven't done my best photographic collection. I'm still hungry and yearning for the next thing. So no, I'm still a student.
Well, again, what I hear a lot is that people want to be represented by an agent and they get booked to do hair for LA Fashion Week. People who are going to do those kinds of bookings assume that you're already coming with all of this skill and talent, and they're not going to teach you this stuff. They assume that you come with that skill set, correct?
Well, you've got to prove it. You've got to, it's sort of a catch-22, really. If you look at, for example, if you're choosing, let's start at the very top. Because the number one thing you need to do is have a great, wonderful foundation education that never, ever ends. You get your core and then you grow. You've got to plant yourself in an amazing salon.
We talk a lot about that because what I also suspect is some people who have the starry eyes for doing session work, hair for fashion or for film or for runway or whatever, think that they don't need the salon opportunity. They don't need the salon experience. So they're not even looking to get a job in a great salon where they're mentoring in their education and just the experience of doing a ton of hair all day, every day for years and years. They're not even looking for that.
No, you have to, because that's your foundation. And also you're learning how to deal with people. You're getting your speed together. Can you please and satisfy that client? Can you follow direction? These are all things, it's still foundational training. So I would say before you want to branch off into something alternative from the salon is you've got to go grassroots there. You've got to go and hang out with an influence that's excellent because it will rub off. Don't learn bad habits, learn excellent habits. I met a kid a year ago and she was in tears when she spoke to me. She said, I remember seeing you, and she said, never compromise, go to the best of the best in your town. She said, I left school and I had so many bills from being at school. I just took the first job I could get. And she said they didn't require for me to do any training, so I just jumped in and did the training. She said a year later, I'm working so hard for such a small salary because the salon doesn't have high tickets. There is no education. She said, I feel I've developed some terrible habits. She said, now I want to go to a high-level salon where the average haircut price and color service is much, much higher. But they've told me I need to do 6 months to a year's training. And she said, the problem is I've now learned some bad habits. She said, I've also got to go backwards. I wish I had just gone there in the first place. She said I would be further ahead now. So her shortcut to get herself out of debt and just get any job to pay the bill ended up long term causing her far more problems, because now emotionally she had even more to deal with. And she was in tears, and I said, you know what, thank goodness you've discovered this after year one.
Right.
Go to that salon, assist. Because you've been on the floor as a stylist, you're going to pick it up much quicker. Do as much as you can to accelerate your training. Get as many DVDs and anything out there to watch and to study. And if you want it bad enough, you will get it. And so I think it's starting off in a great salon. It's vital to have a salon that has ongoing education, because if they don't have that, you're not going to grow.